Today is not April. It's going to be April on Monday. So if you're watching this on Monday, it is April for you. But today is Saturday, the 30th of March. I goof up the date every single week. Why do I even bother with it? Like, Debbie's laughing at me, and maybe everyone else is right now, and that's okay. Like, laugh at Sean. It's okay. We're here to have some fun. But anyway, so yeah, March 30th. I'm here with my good friend Debbie. She's been a long time viewer, and she has her own wonderful channel. If you haven't checked it out, you are definitely missing out. She's been a lot of fun. I've loved watching her journey. She's hit 2,000 subscribers in a very, very short amount of time. I want to be like her when I grow up. But I'm going to turn it over to her just for real quick. Let her talk about herself, her channel, and yeah, whatever else comes up. So it's over to you,
Okay.
Debbie.
So if I'm going to talk about myself, I have to do my intro because I've become famous for it. So it's
Okay, go for it.
hi, hello, it's me, the grandma quilter. Yeah. Talk about my channel. Well, I've only been on the air for 4 months. I started December 7th of 2023. And it was all because of my daughter. My daughter Mifta, she inspired me to do this. And it's been a blast. It's been so much fun. And you're one of the first people I started watching when I became a YouTube before becoming a YouTuber.
Oh,
So
really? That's
like I
cool.
yeah, like I was telling you later, I fangirled when you contacted me. I totally fangirled. You ask my daughter. I went crazy. I go, oh my God, oh my Lord, Sean called me. I was hysterical. I just couldn't. Um, yeah, but it's interesting though. It's the way I grew was because of one video. It was because of one video that just went postal. It went crazy, and it was just intense. I had only gotten maybe 100 subscribers before then, 100, 200, and then because of that video, it just went poof. It went all the way up, and it was the one about the food police.
I remember that one. Yes.
Yeah, I think that it hit a nerve. It hit a nerve in the community. Because one thing I've realized after that is that there are a lot of lonely people out here that watch us, that enjoy watching our content because of a lot of the creators. I think the most real creators, and I say this, and I don't care who doesn't like it, the most real creators out there are crafters, quilters, sewers, people that do creative things because it's like we're in tune with each other. We
Hmm.
have a reason for what we do, we enjoy it, and we convey that through what we talk about. So I think that's why it grew so quickly. But I'm steady. I'm there. I don't want to grow too much. I like it right where I am. I
Yes.
really do. Where I am, I'm happy. It keeps me happy. I know I have followers and I have friends because for me, they're my friends.
Oh, for sure. Me
And
too.
yeah, we've created a great community. And the great thing is, oh my gosh, how much fun do we all have? We have fun.
Yeah. And I've said this 100 times before, but if it ever stops being fun, I will come on one final time and say thank you all. This has been great.
Exactly.
But it's time for me to go because, yeah, I, for some it's a business and it's a way to put food on the table, and that's fantastic. And but for me, I have a full-time job that keeps me very, very busy. So I don't need a second full-time job. So yeah, I do this because it's fun. I
I
really,
do this
really
because I'm
enjoy this.
retired. I'm
Yeah, and
retired. I don't have a job. I don't want to work again. I don't. If I have to,
oh,
I will. I mean, I've gotten offers. It's just no. That's why
yeah,
for me, this has been a little sometimes it gives me a little work because that part of my brain, I turned it off 4 years ago, 5 years ago when I retired.
right.
I turned it off. I said, okay, I'm not thinking that way anymore. So sometimes it's like, okay, I'm getting back into this. And now I have this and I have the group and we're doing stuff. And it's like, but my daughter helps me out a lot. So I'm blessed.
That's awesome.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely work. Like, I'm not saying that like if you start a channel and you're just like, it's just going to be easy and blah blah blah. No, it's work, but it's not, and that's why it has to be fun.
Yeah.
But before we go too much further, I don't want to make the same mistake I made last week, where I waited too long to say good morning to everybody, and then I got like so far behind. I had Becca on last week, and we had so many people join us, and it was wonderful. And I hope a lot of them come back.
Yes,
But I got so overwhelmed with the chat, how she manages to keep it all, together. Like she has 500-600 people every Friday night, and
I know.
how she keeps it all together by herself. I mean, my hat is off to her. Like I'm like you, like at a comfortable spot. I want to grow, like I want to obviously the channel. I'd love to see the channel grow, but I don't want to grow too quickly because it's going to overwhelm me. Like I'm
Yep.
just, yeah. All right, so it looks like my front row crew is here, which is Dragonflies for Donna, Jeanette,
Yeah.
Joy T, Teresa is
Donnell's
also.
here because I see Donnell. That's my
Danelle's
daughter.
always, yeah. I figured she'd be floating around somewhere soon. Um, Leanna should be floating around here at some point later on, but
Oh
I think I
yeah.
see good one with Teresa. I'm pretty sure I met Teresa at QuiltCon, if I remember correctly. I met so many
Oh,
people down there. Like,
I was so envious of all of you. Oh my God, I was over here
uh,
watching every second of everybody's feed. It was
yeah,
fun.
I haven't really posted much about it. I did a short thing on my podcast a few weeks ago. I plan to put out a video at some point, whether it happens in 3 weeks from now or 6 months, who knows. But I want to do like a comparison video between QuiltCon and the Mid-Atlantic Quilt Festival, which is the show close to home, a
That would be
week
great.
later. Like, because they're two totally different shows and two totally different events. And I thought rather than just show the same quilts that everybody else has shown after over the last month, I want to do mine a little bit different, but I have to have the time to sit down, put it all together, and make it watchable. So it's coming. Just when your guess is as good as mine. It's probably about trying to figure out the winning
Oh,
lotto
yeah.
numbers, which would be nice because if that ever happens, I can quit my full-time job and just do this full time. But we're all dream. I don't buy tickets, so I don't like my chances. Okay. All right. So apparently management hasn't embroidered the names in the front row recliners yet. I'm still waiting for the funding on that, Donna. So just hold tight at some point. We have a running joke between like Donna and Joyty and a couple of the others. They have front row seats, and I kind of promised them like reclining chairs with the names embroidered on it, but the funding hasn't come in yet. So stay tuned. Okay, let's see
I
who
did
else is
not know
here.
that.
Okay, who else is here with us? Evelyn is here. Beverly, I think I said good morning to already. Good morning, Lisa from the Awkward Quilter, Georgia. If you haven't seen her channel, you
Oh, Lisa.
please go.
Lisa's my buddy.
Yeah.
Lisa.
You know what? I keep typing into the emoji thing and it doesn't do anything. What a mess. I'm telling you, like when you come on here, you get the real show. This is not scripted. This is not anything fancy.
Nothing. We've been talking up a storm before even going live.
Yeah, and that's every week. Good morning, Joyce. I did see my mate Rob from Quilting in the Man Cave here. I'm going to put his link in as well. He's going to be joining me here in, I think, is it 2 weeks? I have to go look at my calendar. I can't keep track of what I'm doing today, let alone 2 weeks from now. Oh, there he is. Okay, he says, hello, quilty friends. I hope everyone is doing well today. Rachel is here. Good morning. Alexandra is here from the UK. Good afternoon to you. I believe I saw Jan pop in from Western Australia. So good evening to her. And
Oh,
Pam
well.
from Queensland. So we've got people from all over the place. If you are watching internationally, let me know. I always like to see how many countries I can cover throughout the world. I
Yes.
think right now I've seen Canada, Australia, New Zealand in the past, not all today, although if you're all here, that's fantastic. France, Czech Republic. And I think I've had someone from Sweden or something as well. Karen W says good morning from Newfoundland, which I know that area quite well. I've never visited there, but I do. Yeah, part of my day job is dealing with Canadian imports, so I do deal with like the
That's
eastern
cool.
provinces. Not this week. This week has been crazy, but we won't go into that. Um, Good morning, Brenda. It's good to see you. Janine as well. Donnell Stitchery says, hey, Sean and Mama Debbie. I love that she calls you Mama Debbie. I have a work mom.
I
I
adopted her. She's mine. I told her to tell her mom she lost her. She's mine. She
oh,
called
see,
my daughter her sister. They're sisters. Yes.
I
Donnell's
love
very
that.
special to me.
Yeah, that's how I am with my work mom. I have work brothers and work sisters and that sort of thing there as well. So yeah, I really have three moms. I have my biological mom, who unfortunately is no longer with us.
Oh,
And then my mother-in-law is kind of like my American mom, which is really nice, because being on the other side of the world. being getting along really well with your in-laws is really, really good. And then I have my work mama. I haven't got a YouTube mama yet, but maybe I should throw out some
I'm
applications.
here. I'm here. I
You're
can
here.
adopt you.
Okay.
I adopt
Well,
everybody. You can. I'll be your YouTube mama if you want me to.
we'll not to put applications out because I don't know how many YouTube mamas I could have yet, but you'll definitely be
Andrea too.
hot.
Andrea will want to adopt you. Andrea adopts everybody too.
I know. See, that's the problem. Like I might, maybe we'll have the YouTube number on a month or something. We'll have to see what
Oh yeah,
happens.
because everybody's gonna want to adopt you, Sean, because you're
I know that.
adoptable.
I know we might be starting a fight here. I don't know if that's a good idea. Okay, so Andrea says, howdy, 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 everyone. Good to see you all. Jan says, good evening. Laurie, it says, good day, Sean. I got to meet her as well, which was really nice. Jan says, good evening. I know I'm going to miss something. If I miss you, I really do.
A
I
lot of
don't
people.
do it intent. People will really hop onto this Saturday morning thing. I love it,
I'm always
Who did I
listening,
miss? Oh,
Sean.
Deb.
I always catch you at the tail end and do the replay because I take my Saturdays very seriously because I got two crazy grandkids that, yeah, very special.
And that's fine, and that's, people tell me all the time, look, I couldn't catch the live because it's too early, or I, had this and that. That's fine. Like, I really don't mind. Like, come watch whatever you can. I try to tailor this live to be just a fun chat. If you can join us live, fantastic. Like, I love seeing the live chat. It makes me really happy. But a lot of people they come and watch later on, and that's perfectly fine. Like, I want it to be a fun event for those that come back and watch the replay as well. So, you do you. Like, yeah, it'd be nice to sleep in one day. I've forgotten what that's like, but I enjoy the life so much. I'm more than happy to
I
get up at
adore it.
6:30 every morning, dude. It's good morning, Russ. It is good to see you. I saw his link
Hey,
in the
Russ
chat.
is here. Yay, Russ. Hi,
Russ is
Russ.
usually Russ is fantastic. I got to hang out with him for the day at QuiltCon. Like
I
I
love
spent
him.
oh, I do too. He's just what you see on camera, and it was really true for this for everybody I met at QuiltCon. Like who you see on camera is who they are in person. Like,
That's why I love our community because
oh,
I've been watching YouTube community quilters since I retired.
oh,
And it
nice.
wasn't until I found you, I found Becca and Tiffany. Those, when I found Becca, I said, wow, it was such a different concept. And then Tiffany blew my mind because she did. She just blew me
Oh
out of the
yeah,
water. And then I started finding everybody else. After I found Becca, I found Donna. That's the queen squirrel because Donna's queen squirrel. And then I started finding everybody else. I found Lisa. I love Lisa. I mean, I love everybody.
yes,
Everybody that I have found here, every creator that's what I call human, that we don't prep a stage. We don't do, we're not, how do I say this? We're not a production group
right, for sure.
that enjoy quilting and enjoy communicating and enjoy chatting with other quilters online. When I found that community, that niche, I said, okay, now I'm happy because this
Yeah,
is where I want to be. I watch others, like I watch Missouri Star. Of course I do. I watch Donna Jordan. I watch them, but I call them the perfect ones. Because when they make a mistake, they do a retake, not us. You see us making mistakes. That's what I love about you. You're like me. I made a mistake. I screwed it up. Didn't you see Becca? Becca screwed up on hers yesterday. She had to rethread and do everything else.
yeah,
It's That's who we are. We are real quilters. We're not showcase quilters. And that's what I
yeah.
enjoy about us.
Yeah, I mean, there's a time and place for both. I mean, obviously, yeah,
Exactly.
if you want a tutorial that's, precise and everything else, it's great to see that sort of thing there. But I'm going to show you what I'm going to work on in just a minute. I promise everybody. But yeah, I've got so many comments from people over the well, I've been what 2.5 years been doing this now. Yeah, that says thank you for showing that you make mistakes because like some people see the perfect production things and get very discouraged when they make a mistake. So I'm like, no, I'm not afraid to show you. Like we all know that. Yeah, this is my very very bestest friend.
Of
Um,
course. I
yeah.
got a couple. I have a couple.
Oh, so do I. I mean, I've got this one here. Yeah, why don't we bring him out to play? Let the other
Okay,
one go. Yeah,
let me bring my favorites. Hold on.
Yeah, so this was a Christmas gift. I got a few. Well, I started off with the cheap ones that everybody gets, like, and I still use them from time to time.
Oh, me too. It's whatever
That's
I
weird.
can
This one's
find.
showing up
Exactly.
blue on camera, although it's purple. So whatever. I have a blue one as well. That's why I had to take a second look. And then I got this as a Christmas gift from my wife's best friend a couple of years ago, and this thing is fantastic. And then when
Wow.
I went to the Mid-Atlantic show, because everyone says like, you need a stiletto, and I didn't have one. So I found this seam ripper with a stiletto on the other end, and it's actually
Yeah.
made by a couple that lives in the next town over from me. So it
I
was
saw
nice
when
to
you
be able
said that
to,
the other day. That's amazing. That's
yeah, and I
gorgeous.
love the colors on this. I
Beautiful.
just think it's a, oops, sorry. I'm used to my phone
Beautiful.
camera where the camera's on the left and this one's in the center on the laptop. So yeah,
Gorgeous.
so yeah, I'm
So
not afraid to
this is
show.
my friend. This is my friend. This was a gift, and it's got
Oh,
my name
nice.
on it. It was a
Oh,
gift
even
from
better.
one of the subscribers, and one of my friends went, "Oh, I put it wrong, and you can't see my name. My name's upside down. See, I put the camera. There we go.
Hey, I'm
I love
Australian. It's
her,
okay to be upside down. So,
but this one is Ruthie, the traveling quilter. She sent
oh,
me the. You got to try this, Sean. I'm telling you, this is awesome.
yes, people show me that. I need to go get one.
Dude, they're so cheap. And I'm telling you, like the other day, I had a big mistake. I sat here, put it at the beginning, lifted, and went. It's so easy. Oh, it's so cheap. So these are my two babies. They are with me wherever I go. My two babies, because I love this, the weight of this. When
Yeah,
you have had carpal tunnel syndrome, I've had my hands operated on, but this, because it's heavy, it's so easy for me to use. It doesn't get my hand tired. But this one, I love it because you don't need to get your hand tired because you just whoop, whisk it through. I
yeah.
love it. I
Yeah,
love
I've
it.
seen a few people use those, and I think that's something I need to do. Dragonflies for Donna is asking you, have I used a stiletto very much? No, I have not used it at all. I need to. So there we go. All right. So this was awesome. I want to talk about my friend Tessa just real quick. She's in the chat here this morning. She put a comment on my channel a few days ago, and it absolutely made my day because she said that I gave her the inspiration to try one of the Elizabeth Hartman patterns.
I have one, and it terrifies me. I lost the fear because of Becca and Tiffany, the unicorn.
Yes.
I I bought that pattern 2 years ago for my granddaughter, and I tried making it, and I lost it. But then when I saw Tiff and Becca make it, I said, okay, now now I can do it. Especially the way Becca did, how she did it by sections. It
Yes.
really helped my brain see it in a different perspective. So I
Hmm.
have a couple of projects before, but I already have that cut, completely cut and ready to go. Soon as I'm done with that, probably this summertime, I am going to tackle her pattern. But I like her patterns. I
Oh, I do
really
too.
do. They're
Yeah.
intense, but they're cool. They're really cool. But I have that one. I have the unicorn.
Yeah, breaking it down into sections, I think, is really important. That's what I've done with mine, and you've
I
seen.
love your
Oops,
panda. Your panda
oh,
is
yeah, the pan, and that one's fairly. Well, once you get part, like the face is a little intricate, but if you can piece successfully, if you can do a quarter-inch seam successfully, I believe you can do the Elizabeth Harper patterns. Yeah, and if you break it up into sections, like
oh, look how gorgeous.
this one came together really well. I've been doing them a while too, so maybe my analysis is a little different. But yeah, this came together in
Oh,
about an hour. It didn't take long. The strawberry took a little longer.
I love that strawberry.
Yeah,
Oh,
and then I need to
berries
do
on.
some more work on these. The banana,
Oh yeah. Funny,
that
they
one, that
really
was
your color
that.
choice is amazing. Is that a kit or are those your colors?
These are my. I bought the background fabric. I went to my one of my local quilt shops and bought the background fabric. Everything else, I'm just pulling from stash.
I love it. I love your color choices because
Thank you.
they blend really nice.
Yeah,
Like
and then this
look
one
at
is
that
super easy.
hair.
It has like 9 pieces in it. So that's the thing too of these. If you buy the sampler ones, like the produce section and that, she writes it out so like you can do each section individually. So if you want to get your feet wet, you can go find the block with the least amount of pieces in it, cut it
No, but
out.
I did this one.
Oh wow, that's cool.
But this
Yeah.
isn't Lisa Hartman. This is a Moda pattern that came up. And when I started making this, and I finished it yesterday, and I washed it, and now it's my studio quilt.
Oh,
This is
nice.
what I have on me because it keeps me nice and warm. Love
See,
it.
if you can do that, I believe you can do Elizabeth Hartman pattern. Now with
Yeah.
the Art East that I absolutely love, the Alice in Wonderland ones, those are a little more advanced. There's some sections in those that you really have to be yeah, you have to kind of know what you're doing with those.
Hmm.
Because they do have a couple of pieces that are a little more, for the most part, they're the same. But there are some sections like the top hat on the Mad Hatter, and there's something coming up on the Dormouse that I think I'm going to have to really mess with. But still again doable if you know what you're doing. But yeah, the Elizabeth Hartford ones, they're not as hard as you think. They're incredibly well written. I love that,
But
like
I was saying this the other day. I have her pattern, and for me, it was hard to understand. But again, it's the way
to break it
I
down.
think. The
Yeah,
way my brain works, it was hard for me to comprehend. When I saw Tiff, when I saw Becca do it, and I saw how Becca broke it down into sections, because
yeah,
this one was by block. So it wasn't a problem for me. This was a block. I did the block. I did the other block. I did the other block. So when I saw Becca do it like that, she took a block of it, she did it, then she did another block of it, and she did it. Then it was easier to understand the instructions.
oh for
And
sure. Yeah.
that's what I try to tell people. It's like each one of us thinks differently. We learn in different ways. We
Hmm.
all learn differently. I am very I have to be hands on. I have to touch whatever it is I'm working on. I have to, how do I say this? I'm very geometrical in my thinking. That's
Hmm.
why legit kits for me is a brain teaser, because legit kits isn't geometrical in that sense. It's piecing, it's something different. So I'm going into that trying to learn, getting rid of that fear. Is it perfect? Oh my God, no. But it's fun because I'm getting out of my comfort zone. But this is my comfort zone. This type of quilting is my comfort zone. That's why I did Steven's pattern. I loved it. I absolutely loved his pattern. His pattern, it came out beautiful, and it was
Yeah,
an easy make. It's elaborate when you see it, but it's an easy make because it's very straight lined. Everything is straight line. Half square
yeah,
triangles and squares. That's it. It's how you put them together. So I'm trying to get out of that. I am trying to move into other areas. I'm trying
yeah.
to branch out. I'll
And
get there.
that's awesome. It's always good to, branch out and I think you've just answered my question why I haven't jumped into the legit kit thing yet. I have the pattern and I've had it for a year and some change now, and I have a start date set for it, which will be mid to late September. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm the very geometric, which is why I love those patterns because, it's just
Exactly.
it's 45-degree angles or 90-degree angles for the most part. But we'll get out of there. Good morning to Laura Lynn. It's good to see you. And I know some other people have popped in as well, and I know I'm going to miss people. Good morning, Kim. It's good to see you. But
I can't.
Jan was asking what we're working on, and I promised people 10 minutes or maybe 15, more than 2 minutes ago, what we're going to be working on. Someone mentioned to me in a comment, I can't remember if it was on a live or where, so, anyway, somewhere, that they had, how was I doing on my City Avenues pattern? And I'm like, I haven't touched that thing in months, and that's terrible. So I was like, okay, well, that's what we're going to work on today. So this is,
Oh, that's nice.
and it's so easy. It's a scrappy project.
I love
It's
scrappy.
Well, so do I, because I used to make drawstring project bags for knitters and crocheters. I used to sell them on Etsy and that sort of in local stores and that sort of thing there before I got into the whole YouTube thing. And so when I cut out the bags, there was the 2.5-inch squares for the bottom that I cut out. And I figured, okay, I'm going to save these into these bags. That's
Yeah.
two of them.
Oh God. Oh,
And
that's
one of
all?
And one of these days, I'm going to do something with it. And I've made one quilt with it
I
already,
love
which I think I call it Scrappy Diamonds. You can go back and look at my older episodes and you'll see that. I still have a ton left over, so I figured I'll make another quilt.
But that was
Um,
gorgeous. Oh my God, it's
oh,
beautiful.
people have asked for a pattern. I am in this very, very slow process of writing a pattern because it's super easy. Basically, you need 2.5-inch squares, and then the sashing is 2.5-inch here, 6.5 here, and then the longest strips are 8.5. So I mean that's all you really need.
Well, I'm working on this
Oh, nice. The
because
snowballs.
yeah, the Renegade, this is Snowballs. The Renegades, which is my membership, we are in collaboration with Handmade by Ying with Donna, and
Uh-huh.
we are making children's quilts for the Ronald McDonald House.
Oh, nice.
What we're doing is all the Renegades are contributing as many snowballs, 6.5-inch snowballs, colorful items for children, anything children related. Like I got this puppy, and that's what I'm going to be doing. And we're just making them. Donnell's going to be putting them together, and we're going to
Okay.
be making crib quilts for the babies, and that's what we're working on. So today, since I finished my cups, which I'm so happy I finished it, I've got a baby quilt I got to finish, but I said, no, I got to get this out to Donnell. So I have like 20 of these to make today.
Okay. Well,
So
we better get
this is,
stuck into it then, right?
oh yeah, I'm ready. I'm here. Hold on, let me turn this thing on. I'm trying a new toy out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Okay. And try, as like I always tell you, Sean, anytime I try something out while I'm live, it don't work.
No,
So I'm not gonna try it out.
that's just asking for trouble.
I
I test
know.
everything
How
out
can you help
beforehand.
it?
All right, so
It's
Jan says here that I could always work on my nephew's quilt. Now that's funny because when I was digging around looking for this to show everybody what I've done so
I
far,
love
I
that.
ran into my nephew's quilt and I was like, I really should be working on that, but I've got to cut out the fabric beforehand, and I had about 20 minutes and it's not enough time. So yes, I do need to work on that, and that's actually going to be something I'm going to do in a couple of weeks on a live. The next couple of weeks I've already got stuff planned. But after that, yes, the nephew's quilt will be coming back into play. So thank you for that suggestion. I had a little chuckle out of
That
that.
reminder. That was a reminder.
I love that, and it's good. Yeah, if you want to see something come back and be worked on a live, send me an email, put it in a comment or something like that. I do watch and listen to those, and that, as I said, that was the reason this came up today because someone said, "Hey, how's it going?" I'm like, "It hasn't, but it will." Okay, so here's the next funny story I want to tell you. So I've shown you the rows that I've done already, and this is something that I work on when I have time. I might just put like a little part of this like together. And so I have this section here, and then I was
I
digging
want that
around.
pattern. I want that pattern when you're done. I want that pattern.
For sure, I'm going to write the pattern and then I'm going to put it out. It'll be a free pattern. I don't plan on charging for it. So it's available for all once it's written. Now, whether it's written, this year or 20 years, well, I'm going to do it this year. Let's just, you can hound me if you want.
Okay.
Um, I have no problem with that. So I
There we
have
go.
these two sections made, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. All I have to do is do like the one little edge part on the other side. I could sew this all together, and I'll have a whole row together. I'm digging around the bucket, and sure enough, here it is. So I actually have
There you go. Oh,
everything assembled so I can actually do a row. So during my live today, I'm actually be able to sew a whole row together. How about
oh,
that?
nice. I like that. I like it
Yeah.
because it's always I always say I use white. My backgrounds are always white because I like it because it makes whatever you're making, it makes it pop out. It makes it look so gorgeous. That's why I always use white as my background. And that one is beautiful.
It's,
Absolutely
it's
gorgeous.
and it's funny you say that because I use white a lot, especially when I started out, but now I've really fallen in love with using a darker background for the same reason. So it's
Really?
interesting, yes. But
What for you is dark? What for you is dark?
I like to use Kona pepper, which is not black. It's a very, very dark gray.
Well, I had a question out one day to my renegades a couple of weeks ago, and I had asked them, what if you had your favorite movie and you could turn it into a quilt, what would it look like? And my favorite movie of all time is Casablanca.
That's a
So
fun
it's
one.
I love it. And it's a black and white flick, but it's a love triangle. It's a
Yeah.
complete love triangle. So in my head, I have I know what I want to see on the quilt. It's just getting it out of my head and putting it on paper so I can make it is another thing. But that quilt is not going to have a lot of white. It's going to be blacks, grays, lighter grays, and then a pop of white with red around it.
Oh, nice.
So, but it's like because again, I think it is working with in my head, working with colors that I'm not used to
Right.
is where I'm stagnant. I'm just doing. I'll get there. I will get there. I know I will. I know I will.
Yep. Yeah, like I said, like I use white a lot. Because it's a wonderful background color. And that's
Yeah.
something I like put, let's have some fun. Okay, hang on a second. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna put a poll up in the chat.
Yay, poll time, people.
I've got to write the poll. Just hang on a second. Okay, let's see. All right, we'll put white. So it's got the question's going to be is what is your go-to background color? And I don't know how many options I can put, but we're about to find out. Um, okay, so here we go. I don't know how many options we can have. So I put what is your go-to background color? And if you're watching the replay, just put it in the comments. I'd love to hear your answers as well. What is your
Yeah.
go-to background color? White, black, or other? And if you put other, please specify in the chat. So we all know because there might be some people out there who really like using blue or green or purple. You know, just I know some of my friends have a favorite color and they like to use that as a background, which is perfectly cool. Okay, so
Navy, there we go.
gray's a good one as well. So yeah, the one I use is a very, very dark gray. I can't really reach. Don't know, do I have a piece of fabric in that color floating around? I usually have a scrap
I love what
somewhere.
Amy wrote. Red and white polka dot.
Hey, and knowing Amy, that would be perfect for her. Like, I think that's great. So, all right. So it
Um,
looks like we have a few requests for this pattern. So yes, I will get it out. I promise we'll get it done soon. The pattern has the the process has started. I've opened the Google Doc file. I've started writing it. There's measurements in there, so it's in the process.
Yay.
Um, I may have you test it. I don't know. We'll see. You know,
I
I
have
need to.
scraps of the yang. I have buckets and
Yeah.
buckets of scraps, and I use them. I've made two scrap quilts already. One that I'm hand quilting, it's going to take me 10 years to quilt it, but I've got it. And the other one that is going to be quilted within the next month. And it's like I have scraps, and then more scraps show up. And I'm trying to get out of the scraps, and then more scraps show up. It's like, stop. But yeah, I love scrappy quilts. They make me happy.
Oh, excellent. Okay, so let's see. Joyce says it depends on what the focus fabric is, and that's very, very true for me too. And that's the reason I kind of fell into that's where I was going before and I got distracted, which happens all the time. That's kind of how I fell into the dark background thing because I was using white for just about everything because it looks so it's crisp and that sort
That's
of thing
what I
there.
like about it. Yep.
But I had this kit. Well, I bought. Did I buy it or was it one of the ones I? Every time it seems like a lot of times when I enter a quilty giveaway on a YouTube channel, I tend to win. I don't know. I wish that would transfer to the
Well,
lotto.
throw some of that over
Um,
here. Throw some of that. Andrea took your mojo away. Andrea was on a streak, and she
uh-huh.
won. She won from Sewing Parts Online. What was it? The
I
the the printer.
I
The
saw that.
yes, which is super expensive. She won it. I'm
That's
very
awesome.
envious of Andrea.
And I'm happy for her. Like Andrea's been a great
Yeah.
supporter of the channel. I'm very happy for her. But
My
anyway,
queen.
so
Let me tell you a story about Andrea, though.
okay.
When I started the channel, the very first day we made the Renegades. My daughter said, "Mom, we got to do it. We're there. You can do it now. Let's do a group." The very first Renegade was Andrea. So she is the queen renegade. She is our queen. She is
Okay.
our queen, and we ride because the Renegades we ride. That's what we do.
Okay.
Yeah. So Andrea's queen renegade, and she already said it here in the chat that she is here, that the queen is here. But Andrea's everywhere. She is a great supporter of everything. She
Oh,
supports.
she is. Yeah. Every time I pop into a live chat, I mean, I can pretty much guarantee Andrea's going to be there. So yeah, I'm definitely with you. Good morning, Becca. It's good to see you. If you haven't
Morning,
checked out
Becca.
Becca's, I mean, everyone knows Becca, I'm sure, but if you haven't, her link will be in the description below. And that's what I wanted to mention to everybody. If you have a channel, you should be able to use your first name, exclamation point, your first name, and it should pop up. I think I've got just about everybody. Feel free to put it in. Like, just don't spam us. I trust you. You're always good. I mean, I try to put people in as I see them pop in, but I miss people. So if you have one and I missed you, just go ahead and put it in. I like to encourage people to do that. But yeah, there you go. If you spam a lot, I'll just block you for a while. So it's that's okay. Okay, so Amy's done that. So that's great. Excellent. But yeah, I wouldn't open the invitation up if I didn't trust you. So I think you'll all be fine. So this is the next row. So there we go. It's just all
Oh, look how
scrappy.
pretty. I love your colors. They're so bright. They're colorful.
Yeah. And so I'm doing a mix of prints and solids. I just kind of reach into the bag and pull some out and just, yeah, have some fun with it. Okay. Molly says, I think part of my problem is I use such different colors and prints that I feel like nothing goes together. Is that like for the background, you mean? I mean,
Yeah, I think that's what
just
she's
go with
talking
it. I
about.
mean, I think if you don't know what goes together, my suggestion usually is look at black and white or gray, and then whichever one you have least of in your pattern use. Because it's been
Yeah, that's
interesting,
what,
like when I do t-shirt quilts, sometimes people tell me, I do sashing in between. And sometimes the person that I'm making it for says, okay, I want bright green, I want white, I want this color. And sometimes I look at it and I'm like, I don't know how does this go to work. Like, mm. But every single time it turns out beautifully. Every
oh,
single
there we
time.
go.
So very interesting. So yeah,
I'm sorry,
just
I'm
go with
cold.
it. Just have some fun with it. Just go with it and it'll be just fine. So um there we go. Okay, so Becca says I got my coffee and slowly getting started this morning. I've already drunk my 2 cups, so I think I'll be all right for a little while there as well. Good morning, Teresa, as well. Good morning, Joyce. It's good to see you as well. So, okay. Molly says that comment was regarding scrappy quilting. Okay, that's something I learned doing this project here. I tried to kind of make it so it wasn't, it was kind of symmetrical and that sort of thing there, but you kind of have to let go of that, I think, in my opinion at least. And I could be wrong, and if I am, that's cool. But just don't have the same print next to each other is what I now do. So
Yeah.
I
I
think
mean,
other than
they say genuine scrappy. Again, I watch everybody to take all your fabric, throw it in a bag, and just pull out whatever you can.
see, I'm listening to you already. How about that?
Oh, okay. I'll show you my bag is not a bag because like the quilt that I'm making now, I call it my mindless quilting adventure. Is I'm making these, and it's log
Oh, they're
cabin,
pretty. Yeah.
but made out of scraps. So what I did was I have this beautiful basket my daughter gave to me for my birthday one year, and I just cut up scraps and threw them in here. Let me show you.
Oh,
They're in
nice.
here. And all I do is when I'm sitting down mindlessly sewing, watching somebody on YouTube, and I'll just stick my hand in, pull it out, and start sewing. And now I already know it, so it's automatic. How many, colors go in each row. And I just do my mindless sewing. That's what I call mindless. You're
Yeah, and
not
that's
putting
how I
any
feel
thought
about
into pulling
this.
it out. But
Yeah,
that I learned with Chris from Sew the Distance. She taught me that.
she is fantastic. I
I
love watching. She
adore her.
was one of the first I started watching was her. The first ones I started watching, like you said, I was one of your first ones that you started watching. For me, it was Chris from Soda Distance, Fallon from So Be It Quilts, and So Becca was the three that I remember. All right,
Yeah.
where did my quilt go? Oh, there it is.
And remember we were talking about screwing up online? Yep, I just did it. I just did it.
Oh, every week. If I make it a week without having to pull out my very, very bestest friend, we're having a good week. So
Yeah.
far, I'm doing all right, but I've only sewn like three things together. So
No, she
Amy's
does
is not
it.
what. Oh,
My
okay.
boss is she's very persnickety, she thinks she's a diva. And there are days she says, no, today I don't want to do anything. And then she'll just be bratty, but she's not the boss of me.
Yep. Okay. Donnell says that Amy's link is not working. Okay, I will fix that in just a moment. All right. Let me do this real quick before I forget, and then
No bratty. No bratty.
okay,
No bratty.
fix that. Yeah, I'm glad people tell me when stuff isn't working because if no one tells me it's broken, I can't fix it.
Exactly. See,
So,
Donnell's everybody's technician. Have you noticed this?
oh, she's wonderful. Yeah.
Donnell, stop it.
Are you
I
proud of
love
your daughter?
she is amazing. She is this woman she is like, I don't know, she never stops. She's always
Right.
doing something and she's always open to helping everybody. And that's the amazing thing about Donnell. She helps everybody. I adore her.
Me too. I'm in contact with her at least a few times a week. So,
Well, I can't call her on the phone because we get on the phone and we don't stop. We'll stay on the phone for hours, literally. We got to stop that. Her husband's going to smack me one of these days, or her son, because we're
all right.
always out.
Let's try. Oh, I got too many windows open. All right, you can go. Okay, let's try Amy's again.
All right. Now you did it, right? Okay. I'm
All
sorry.
right,
I
let's.
talk to my machine. Do you talk to your machine, John?
I talk to myself. I talk to my machine. I talk to everything. So yeah, if you don't want to channel where I talk to the machine, like the person talks to the machine or themselves, I'm sorry, this is not the place for you. And I still goofed this up. What's going on here? Oh, there's a period on. Okay, hang on. So we keep
Oh,
it
I like
real here.
Kathy's choice. Kathy likes cream or off white. That's pretty.
Hmm. That's a good thing because like sometimes white, and that's one reason I've kind of gravitated away from white for certain things is like, yeah, if you spill something on it or the dog slobbers on it or something like it, sometimes it doesn't come out. So having that off white um is a good thing. So okay. Let's try this one more time. Okay, hang on, that worked.
Stephanie's here. I love Stephanie.
Oh, it's still sending me to a different okay. I don't know.
We said it. We said it. We were good. They had to have something happen. Something
Oh
happen.
yeah, and that's fine. We'll work that out later on. But what in goodness names is going on here? Okay, so we'll just do it this way. Okay, so but yeah, Amy has a wonderful channel. You need to go check that out. But we'll move on, otherwise I'll get nothing done today. Okay, what did I just do and where did it go? Oh, there it is. See, I told you I talk to myself.
I do it all the time. I talk to myself. I argue with myself. I answer myself. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to admit it, like. Because if I said I didn't do it, you'd be able to go watch any of my videos and come back and go, Sean, you're lying to me. Like this is not right. So just own it.
Oh. Well, see, remember, I shake a lot when I sew. My hands are always shaking. So a lot of people, I don't do a lot of stuff online watching me sew because my sister's one that she cannot see me do what I do. Okay. So I try not to show my hands sewing at all. But I sew very slowly. I'm very, very slow. But again, I don't make things for anybody. I make things for myself and to gift. So it's not like it has to have specific stitching and stuff like that. No, I
Even
don't
if you
take
are
that.
making it for someone else, they're not going to notice. Like they're not going to care. They're just going to say, "Hey, look, Debbie made this beautiful thing for me." Like unless you're giving it to now, if you're giving it to a quilt show judge, you might want to take
I don't
um
think I'll ever do that. Ever, 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 ever. I don't have that mentality. I don't. No.
all right, Amy
You
says she
know.
put her link in the chat. Copy
There
paste.
you
I hope
go.
it's okay. That's fine, but you can't do it unless you're a moderator. But I just went ahead and changed you, so that way you should be able to do it. So try it one more time.
Come on,
Leanna's
Amy.
okay.
You can do it, girl.
Okay, Leanna's here. She said she's a bit late because her family hopped up, so that's perfectly fine. Family always comes first. I figured you'd
Leanna's
pop in
late
whenever you
because she's
got.
eating Puerto Rican food. She's doing that and spiting me. She's making me suffer. She was talking
Yeah.
about the bread pudding. Puerto Rican bread pudding is very, very different to English or American bread pudding, the way it's made, because it literally looks like a solid pudding. It's so good. And then they have raisins and cinnamon and everything in it. I love it. I miss it. I miss it. I miss
Ah,
it so much.
I
But
always
and
miss
then she
my
said
Aussie
to me,
food.
she taught, well, don't, right? You miss it. After a while, it gets to a point where you desire to have it. And for
Yes.
me, our food over there, like Puerto Rico, you eat a lot of root vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
And my mouth is watering just thinking about it. And then she comes and talks about it and makes me suffer because she's over there having fun on the
Yes.
island. That is so cool. I'm happy for her though. She's good. She's having fun there.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what, yeah, that's something people ask me all the time is like, what do you miss about Australia the most? And it's definitely the food. Like, I miss
Yeah.
the food. And it's, because like some of my favorite things to have as a snack is a meat pie, which is like a pot pie that has the crust all the way around. It's like it's ham food and sausage rolls, which is like ground sausage, breadcrumbs, some, herbs and spices wrapped around puff pastry. Fantastic
Ooh.
food.
See,
Yeah.
that's similar to what she was talking about today. That meat
Yeah.
pie, do you guys
Ah,
bake it or fry it?
bake it.
Okay, Puerto Rico, we fry it. Puerto Rico is
Right.
the heaven of fried foods, but it is a meat pie because it's dough and the
Mm-hmm.
filling is meat,
Yep.
and you close it and then you fry it and you eat it in your hands. Yes, finger food.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes. So Jan's asking, what do I miss the most food wise? She's probably going to laugh at me for this answer, but it's obviously I'm just, I've just talked about the meat pies and sausage rolls, which I've been able to replicate here in my own kitchen. Well, the sausage rolls, it's not quite right, but it's pretty close. But I miss Chico rolls. She's
what's that?
probably okay. Chico rolls is it's deep fried. It's got carrots, peas, apparently mutton, and some other stuff.
Oh, mutton is sheep
And
or is it goat?
sheep. Mutton is
That sounds
sheep.
pretty
Well, at least that's my take of it. Um, okay, so that's yeah, she's Amy says they had an Australian bakery in Marietta. I'm aware of that. I've never been to it. There is a New Zealand bakery, which is basically the same thing. That's in Richmond, which is about an hour and a half from us. So anytime I'm in Richmond, we swing over to they call it the Proper Pie Company and go get some. But if I want a meat pie or a sausage roll, a lot of times I'll just go to the store, I'll buy the ingredients, and I'll just make it myself
I like the
because
sausage roll. That sounds amazing. I love sausage
it's
anyway.
really good. If anyone's interested,
Yes,
I can okay, I'll email you the recipe that I found online because it was
yes.
uh it's really nice because this lady, I guess she was I don't know if she was an Australian expat or she's married to an Australian, but whatever it was, she modified the recipe to use American ingredients.
Cool.
So it's really, really good. And it's really simple. I mean, basically, like you mix it's like Jimmy Dean sausage and breadcrumbs. You mix it together and like you throw some parsley and some other stuff in, and then you just get the puff pastry sheets that you get out of the supermarket freezer. You let them thaw out, you wrap it around, you cut it up, you throw it in the oven. I think it's 350 for 20 minutes. I don't know. I look at the recipe each time. And you pull it out and it's done. I mean, it's super, super simple.
In Puerto Rico, we make something called pastelillo de carne, which is puff pastry, and it's
Uh-huh.
cut into a circle. We take uh pork. We make pork. We how do we say this in English? We saute it with onion, garlic, black pepper, oregano, um, a spice that we use in Puerto Rico. It's called culantro, which is a leaf. We make a little uh, I don't even know how to call it. Anyways, we put that inside the puff pastry and then we bake it. And it's very similar to what you just said then.
Yeah, it
Just
sounds
a
similar.
little different. Just a little
Okay.
different.
Sheila says there was a British store in Hampton that's carried sausage rolls. Not sure if they're still there. I'll have to go check that out. Hampton's like on the other side of the what is it?
Ooh.
I don't
You
know if
know,
it's the
Sean's going. Sean's going. No,
no,
I
when I
have,
have time.
yeah. No, here in Atlanta, there are a couple of places where I go when I have a chance because it's about an hour and 45 minutes away when there's no traffic. Where
Oh,
they
6 hours
sell.
when there is.
There's the yeah, like where I go to buy root vegetables. It's a very big supermarket where they have ethnic foods of all different countries. I mean, if you
Right.
want to find ingredients for Thai food, you go there. If you want to find ingredients for Brazilian food, you go there. For Puerto Rican food, and they have all that stuff there. I go to buy goat because in Puerto Rico we make a stew with goat, and it's absolutely amazing. So I get my goat meat there. There's another thing I make for my son with pig's feet, salted pig's feet, and it has to be from there. Um, but yeah, and I love going there. It's just super expensive now because prices have gone up and but it's far away. But my sister and I have a trip planned because I need my root vegetables. I need them. I need them. There used to be a place up here in Chattanooga, Jamaican place, because the 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 foods are very similar in the islands. We all eat, it's like New Zealand and Australia. You're so close together, everything is similar.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, but they closed it down, and I'm sad
Oh,
because I need
that's
my
no fun.
I need
All
my.
right. So since you'll tell us about that, I figured it'd be a good chance for me to go find the recipe. So instead of me having to email it to everybody,
Oh yes,
it is now going into the chat. So that way, if you're in the US, or I mean, if you want to transpose, I mean, I can turn it into metric if you want, if you're in Canada or somewhere else in the world. But the link to it's there. I can send it to you later on as well. Debbie, if you need me to. Hang on, it's
oh
not
yes.
going.
Oh, yeah. My son-in-law is a chef, so I'm gonna
Oh,
give it to him.
nice.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, you don't need to be a chef to make this. It is
Oh
super,
no, I
super
know, but he
easy.
collects recipes.
Ah, okay. I always lose it. Like basically what I do is I go to the store, I forget to get the recipe, and then I just type in my phone, Australian sausage roll Jimmy Dean. And it's like the first one that pops up, and then I just go get the ingredients. So,
Right here in a store that I go to, they sell sausage loose, not encased. So
oh,
it's loose
really?
sausage. Yeah. So can I make it with that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, you can make whatever sausage you like. I don't think it really matters. It just tastes a little different, but whatever works for you. Okay, Janine says goodbye. Thank you for hanging out for a little while.
Hi,
Apparently,
Janine.
we're making everybody hungry, and I
Yep.
apologize, but it is Brekkie with the guy who sews. So, and as I tell my guests before we go online every week, you just never know where this conversation's going to go. We just kind of just let it, it's not scripted. We just kind of let it go, where it wants to go. So, and today it kind of segued into sausage rolls and meat pies. So there we
But you know,
go.
this started when we were watching Leanna. This is where it started, Sean.
So we can blame Leanna for it. Okay, even
We
better.
can blame Leanna because Leanna was the one that started us talking on food. So it's Leanna's
Yes.
fault.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
if you haven't, I don't think we've put her link in yet. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Put on the pastry because um okay. Marianne Jackson says I enter the Kentucky State Fair every year because I get cheap tickets for my family. I love going to the state fair. That is one of the things
Oh,
I
you're
enjoy
so
doing
fun.
every single year. I enter quilts into the state fair each year now. Um, but I love just going and seeing everything. That was always like we had something like that in each town growing up, and that was always a highlight for me of the year, just seeing all the stuff. So going to the state fair here is um it's one of the things I enjoy, and it's really neat taking the exchange students there too, because they don't really have anything close to that where they come from. So
State fairs are very different from what, like in Puerto Rico, we have fiestas patronales. fiestas patronales are uh Catholic related. They're a celebration of a specific church because in Puerto Rico, every town has a plaza, like Leanna was saying. And
Right.
in the plaza is the biggest Catholic church of that town. It's right there. Always in the middle of that plaza, you're gonna find that church.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, that church has a celebration of the saint, whatever name the church has, they celebrate that once a year. And it's like a state, it's like a fair because they bring rides and they have kiosks with food and with crafts. But in the case in Puerto Rico, it lasts 10 days. It's a 10-day fair. And every night they have music in the plaza. They have a different band. They'll have different singers come in, and there's dancing and there's drinking and there's just a hoot nanny, like they say here.
Yeah.
So, but it's fun. I mean, I'm not a big person to go to fairs. I don't like walking around, but that's what they do. You know, you walk around, you socialize, you eat your heart out because there's food all over the place. But
Right.
it's really it's a good place to socialize. It has a Christian theme, but everybody's forgotten the Christian theme and they just go for the food and the music.
That sounds really fun. It's funny that you talk about the Catholic Church and the square in the middle because I've been to Nicaragua, which is for anyone that's outside of the US. The first time I heard we were going to Nicaragua, I thought it was in Africa. So like, um, don't judge me. I didn't know any better. Like, I grew up learning European and Asian geography. We didn't touch on Central America. So,
There you
um,
go.
so yeah, we've been down there a couple of times, and yeah, it's like that down there too. Like, there's the big Catholic church in the center of town with the big plaza in the middle. So it seems like it's
It's a
maybe a
very yeah, it's a Latin American
Hispanic,
thing.
Latin America. Okay, that's what I was
It's very Latin
thinking.
American. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's in every Latin American country. I've been to the Chile and I've been to the Dominican Republic and my sister's been to Venezuela. But again, it's always any plaza, the church is there. But it is here too, because where I lived up in Connecticut, it wasn't a Catholic church, but it was a church. It wasn't
That's
in the
true.
middle of the plaza, but it was to the side. There was a
Okay.
congregational church in Naugatuck, and in Waterbury, it was a Methodist church, if I'm not mistaken. It wasn't in the center of the plaza in Latin America, like you saw in Nicaragua. It's right there in the middle of the plaza, and then the plaza surrounds it. Is the way they have it over there. Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
it's cool. It's like
Yeah.
I
The
was
only
telling you, I love the history of towns where I live. I love to learn the history.
yes. Yeah. I've only
Peñuelas,
been to.
Peñuelas, the story of the church was Peñuelas is right next to the ocean. So to get into the town, you literally go like this in curves because you're going into the mountain. Peñuelas is in the valley. When you get into the town of Peñuelas, it's completely surrounded by mountains. So it's like a little hole right there. There was a hurricane in the 1800s. I don't remember the year. There was a hurricane that created a tidal wave, and the tidal wave was coming into the town, was coming through the curves, and the church got everybody together and they started to pray, and the ocean receded. That's the legend.
Okay.
So yeah, so because of that, they do the fiesta patronale al Santo Cristo de la Salud. That's who it's dedicated to because that's who they pray to. So the procession, they carry a statue of the saint,
Okay.
and they walk through the plaza and they do the same prayer they did to make the ocean recede.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, me and history, I just love it.
I'm
Anything that
sure
has
you.
to do with that and legends. I love legends. What
Yeah.
kind of legend do you have from Australia? What kind of a legend do you remember?
Well, a lot of our legends are the Aboriginal stories. They have what they call the Dreamtime stories, and it's usually like um, kind of like their legends from tens of thousands of years ago. There was like the rainbow serpent that kind of helped create the landscape and that sort of thing there. I don't remember a lot of them because it's been like
Oh,
40 years
yeah,
since I learned
cool.
about it. But yeah, if you go look up the Aboriginal Dreamtime stories, You'll
Read
learn
that.
a lot about, and I think each tribe or each community had their own stories as well. It's a little different to other places because they were also like community driven. It wasn't like a big group that all got together. They didn't have, you know, towns or cities. They all had their own, little small communities where they live. I guess kind of like the American Indians type of thing.
Oh,
I'd
I
say was
love
probably the
those.
closest way. But yeah, go look it up. The Dreamtime stories are fantastic to learn and listen to. Um, what was I going to
Love
say?
them.
Oh yes, I'll. Becca says she's taken a page from my book and definitely going to enter a quilt in the state fairs. Yes, you are entering a doll quilt. Remember, because you and I gave each other a challenge, and I have not forgotten about that, Becca. So, don't forget. Um, but yeah, you're talking about how you're surrounded by mountains. I remember one time I was in New Zealand, just outside of Christchurch, and you actually drive into this thing. It was an old extinct volcano, and so you're
Oh,
actually
that's cool.
yeah. Um, Yeah, basically you drive in, it's like this little community, and like in the center of it, it's like I guess one of there's a small section of it that is gone because it's like the actual ocean comes into it. It's like this big lake or that sort of thing there, and then yes, you just like you're inside this crater, this very very extinct volcano.
Oh, that
Um,
is awesome. Well, Puerto Rico is they discovered that Puerto Rico is very small, but when you look in the ocean underneath, it's the very tip of a mountain.
oh, okay,
So
that's really
allegedly it's
cool.
a volcano. So I don't know.
All right, so let's see if anyone's watching from New Zealand, they can tell me the name of this place, but it's also let's see after midnight there, so I think everyone's asleep. Let's see. Let's look at our little map here real quick. It is called. Find it. Okay. Anyway, it's near Christchurch, I think. So
Well, Tony, I think Tony's on. Tony. Tony's
Tony,
from New
yes,
Zealand.
yeah, she's from Auckland, but she'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tony's
Tony,
fantastic.
clarify it for us.
That or they told me that when I was there and they lied to me. I don't know. It sounded legitimate. It looked like a crater of a volcano, and they had plenty of volcanoes there. So I mean, it's a legitimate thing. I actually have been inside an active volcano. Um,
Wow.
That was in Nicaragua. Well, I didn't actually go in. Like I was sitting on top, like you go up to the top of the volcano and you look in. That was close enough
Oh,
for me.
oh, that is, oh God. No.
And then there was another one it was either dormant or extinct, and you could either go hiking around it or you could take a zip line tour through the trees. And that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing that. So, okay, so someone was talking here a minute ago about how their home ec teacher told them they should stick to sewing because their cooking wasn't great. And I think that was very mean of them to say so. And if my home ec teach, well, I was hopeless at sewing when I did in seventh and eighth grade back in the early 90s. If my sewing teacher saw me doing this now, she'd probably fall over in a chair and have a heart attack. So, you know, what your skill sets and potential was back when you were in school compared to now, don't pay any attention to it. Because I was
I
probably deemed least likely to succeed.
I only made a skirt and it came out lopsided. I remember that. Never made anything else in school. I didn't sew until after I got married and I started making my daughter's clothes and my son's clothes, actually. I made them pants. And then when my daughter was born, I started making all of her clothes. And I was thinking of having my own little shop of making baby clothes. I even took a business course uh, to learn how to do that. But then, yeah, it didn't work out. And I had a very old sewing machine, a very old Kenmore that was gifted to me.
Oh,
But that's
nice.
what I started out. I didn't quilt until 5 years ago when my granddaughter was born.
Oh, okay.
So that was the very first quilt I ever made. And it's not quilting, it's patchwork because all I did was put the squares together,
That's
put
what
the
I did.
backing on. It doesn't have batting. It's not
Okay.
quilted at all. I'm going to quilt it now. But she adores it. That she loves her blanket. That
That's all
that
that matters.
that and that's where I started quilting because it's a heck of a lot easier than making clothing. Oh, so much easier. But I love it. I love this. It's like, I don't know. I call it mindless sewing because in when you're making a garment, there's a lot of steps you have to follow. You have to make sure everything matches. You have to make sure that everything fits. Quilting, for me, I am not a precise quilter, so I'm not. That's why I'll never enter a quilt show. I just quilt because I enjoy it. Sometimes my points are nice, sometimes they're not. I'm getting better though. I am
Oh yeah,
getting
you
better.
will.
But yeah, but it's not like, oh my God, I have to. It's not like when you're setting in a sleeve or putting in a zipper or making a collar for a shirt or putting, that's different. But when you're quilting, okay, well, it came out good, yay. It didn't come out good. Can I live with it? Yes. What is it? The horse rule that you go by
Yeah,
in a whole
the
market?
galloping horse.
Yes, the galloping horse rule. I live by that rule. I absolutely live by that rule. But I have fun with it. Like, look, tell me this isn't going to be the most gorgeous little snowball you ever saw.
Oh, will be for sure. Absolutely no
It's
question.
adorable. Whatever baby gets this blanket, if she sees it and sees that raggedy ant, she's going to go crazy. Love it. Little raggedy ant. But yeah, that's why I put because I have fun with it. And I think that's what has resonated with my viewers is that, frankly, my dear, I don't give a hoot. I do what I
Yep.
want. I do if I want it. If I don't want to do it, I don't. If I enjoy
Yep.
it, great. And if I don't, I say it. If I make a mistake, it's made. I deal with it and I move on. You don't have to be perfect to love it. And that's where it comes from, imperfectly loved.
Yes, and I
So,
love that. I think it's really neat that you chose that name.
oh no, that was my daughter. My daughter's a creative genius, Sean.
Yep.
And I'm not saying that as a mom. I'm saying that as a businesswoman. My daughter has ideas that sometimes just blow my mind. And she's the one that said, Mom, you're here alone. You're in your room all day sewing. Why not take advantage and put it online? That's how I came to be because she kept
Hmm.
insisting. For me, sitting in front of a camera and talking to a camera, not people, because I'm used to training. I'm used to being up on a stage. I am not used to talking to a camera. For me, that was so embarrassing in the beginning. Oh my God, it was
Oh,
so
me
embarrassing.
too. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
But that's why I love the lives because there are people there because you're interacting.
Yes.
And that's the best part. But that's why I started the channel because I was lonely. So I wanted to have an outlet. And she said, Mom, this is the best outlet for you. She's the one that created everything. She's the one that created the name. I said, Stop. The name in quilt effect, some people are going to have trouble with it. And she goes, it's in quilt effect, you're playing on the word imperfect. Because
Yep.
that's all in quilt effect is. When people understand that it's a play on the word of imperfect, they get it. And now it's gotten to the point where everybody knows when they see that word, they know it's me. They know I'm coming.
Yep. Uh-huh. I think it's great.
I love
And
being
it's
imperfect.
yeah, and I think it's amazing too, like, and you don't sometimes don't realize this, but yeah, how many the importance of having those people behind the scenes, because
Oh God, yes.
some of us can do it by ourselves. Like I do everything by myself. I have the technology know how to do everything, which is great, but not everybody does. So use the tools that are available to you. If you have a daughter or another family member or a friend that helps you out, don't be afraid to make use of that. I think it's great. So okay, so Tony says I might be thinking of the Banks Peninsula. I took a quick look at the map and I think it was a Littleton in that I went to. As I said, they may have told me an urban legend. Who knows?
Donna's on. Hey, Donna.
I don't know. To say she usually pops in for a little bit. So okay, so it looks like we've got a few people here that say they're left-handed. Judy is, Amy is, I am as well when it comes to writing and what is it? Writing, eating, and sewing, and that sort of like cutting. But then again, I play sports right-handed, so I'm a little weird. So
You're ambidextrous.
yeah, I've also learned I had to learn how to use a pricing gun back in the day when I started my after-school job right-handed, because trying to do that thing upside down left-handed was not going to work. That was a mess. I tried it for about 10 minutes and like, no, I'll figure it out. Okay, so I actually did get something done. I got this piece.
I've done a couple.
Good. I'm glad
Done.
someone gets something done during these lives because that's, if you look at my description in the lives, it says, I'm here with my friend, whoever it is that week. We're here to have some chats. We might actually get some sewing done. And I truly believe that. So let's see. Did I miss anything? Okay, Alexandra has to go. I think she's off to get a sausage roll, I think she said. So that's good.
Leanna's
Hey,
going. She's gonna go cook. Leanna's gonna go cook, and then she's gonna do another video, make me suffer. I know what she's doing, and she's doing it. She's
no, we're
doing it.
having some.
I know.
Okay, so let's see. Let's do this one. Yeah, this is a nice thing. You just reach in the bag, you pull out. I have one bag of prints and one bag of solids. So I try and alternate it, and sometimes it doesn't quite. Sometimes I put the two solids together, and it's okay. You just let it go. It's fine. Okay, what are we doing? Okay, so let's put we got to end the poll, and it looks like um 37% white, 18% black, and then 43% other. So it's a nice little mix for the background color.
Yeah, interesting.
All right.
43% other. Wow, that impresses me.
Yeah, me too. I wasn't quite the ants, it wasn't quite the result I was expecting. I'm gonna
Yeah.
do another poll. Let's have fun with another poll.
Yes, I love toast.
Okay, so we'll do another poll. Okay, there we go. All right, so the next one is are you left or right-handed? Because I believe the average is 1 in 7, but I have this theory going on that when it comes to creative people and crafters, that the number's a little skewed, and I think it's closer to 1 in 5 or 1 in 6. But let's see how close I am with the limited data that I have available to me. Um, Okay. All right. So let's see. Yeah, Donna's here. I think she put her channel link on already, and I don't think she was here earlier when I said that people are welcome to do that whenever they want to. When they pop in, I encourage it because I'm going to miss people, and this way you can just do it. It's kind of like self-service, and then
Hmm.
I don't have to worry about missing people. And if I don't have your channel link, let me know, and I'll make sure it gets added. All right. Let's do purple and green. Why not? We'll do this nice. Let's see. We'll do this nice red print. And let's
I've
see
got a
what else.
question for you.
Yeah.
Do you set your seams?
What do you mean by that exactly? Because my brain's not
Like
working really well.
like when you're doing half square triangles, you're doing anything where there's a seam and you have to fold over something. Do you set the seam first with an iron and then then fold over and then do it again?
Yeah,
Okay. Some people,
usually.
I don't know what setting seams was until about a year ago.
Okay. Yeah, I
I,
try
I,
to do that when I can. So I might forget once in a while, but I try to.
but
So,
I turned into an avid ironer. I iron
oh,
constantly.
me too. I used to be terrible about that. And then I started the Wizard of Oz sew along last year, and I was making the scarecrow, and it has all these tiny pieces. Like some of the pieces were one by one unfinished, and that killed me. I was like,
Uh,
okay, I have to iron, and so I've been a good little ironer ever since.
oh, I
So,
am constantly. I have to. And because I was sewing, I was making quilts with a foot that was not a quarter inch. And I would get so angry. I didn't understand it. I would get so angry that it would look so pretty. And I'd start putting it together. When I cut it, it was gorgeous. And then when I put it together, it wouldn't work out to the measurements that the pattern said. And then all of a sudden I realized watching who was it that I was watching that day? Uh, I think it was Chris.
uh-huh.
I think it was Chris that said about the quarter inch presser foot. And I said, what? And then when I saw the presser foot that she was showing, I said, no wonder. I got my presser foot and I have been hooked ever since.
Oh
I have
yeah.
the quarter inch. That's all I use.
Yeah,
sometimes it's a
having a
problem because when I want to do a zigzag, I forget I have it on, and the
mm.
needle breaks.
I've done that
Needle
more than
breaks.
once.
But I love ironing. It keeps everything nice and crisp,
Yep.
and it opens everything up, and I don't fudge as much now.
Yeah. I know. I had viewers keep telling me, Sean, you need to iron, you need to iron, and I was being stubborn. Like I will not lie. I was being stubborn. I'm like, no, it'll be fine. This I did that scarecrow, and I'm like, okay, yep, I get it. I have to press, and I've been good ever since. So,
That's why you see me now. I'm pressing because I have the funny thing is I have three ironing boards in this room. I
oh
have this,
wow,
yeah, I have a wool presser mat right here with my fabulous my I love my iron. My daughter gave me this for my birthday. My Rowenta. Then she gave me also an ironing board that I have hanging on the door to my room that I can pull down and push up. And then I have my other real ironing board over there when I'm ironing big things with my other iron. I have 11 irons. I'm obsessive. I have 11 irons and I have two steamers. Yeah.
nice. Well, at least if one breaks, she'll still be okay. I got one
Oh,
iron.
yeah. I'm covered everywhere you look because every station has its own iron. This is the funny thing. This one has the Rowenta. I have my old Hamilton Beach on that side, and I have my big Hamilton Beach on the other side. I am covered no matter where I go in this room. I have an iron. Yes, because that's the way I roll.
Very nice. Hey, whatever works for you, like I always believe in telling people, whatever setup works for you best is always good. And I like always seeing what people how they have set their rooms up. Like I know Becca's done a video of her sewing studio.
But
I did
hers
one
is
of
a
mine last
studio.
year.
Becca has a studio. And that's a
Ah, her space is amazing. I got to see it in person last August, and it's just as amazing in person as it is what you see on her videos. It's just absolutely wonderful. So,
yeah. I
um,
saw the video when she was moving and she was setting everything up.
yeah.
It was intense work, but it's a beautiful studio,
Oh
man.
yeah, she has it set up so nicely. Like, it's such a nice thing. But yeah, I'm happy with what I have too. So,
Well, I used to sew in my bedroom. I had everything in my room. My daughter's the one that said, "No, mommy, do this. Let's do this," because she knew. And the problem is, she put me in here, and now I have more. It's her fault.
uh-huh.
She gave me more space. I got more stuff. So it's
Very
her fault.
nice. All right, good morning, Laura. It's good to see you. Jamie from the quilting compound says I couldn't live
Hi,
without my
Jamie.
quarter-inch foot. Yeah, Jamie's fun. I'll just throw her channel link in real quick. And yeah, I have a quarter-inch foot with a little guide. You can probably see it. Oh, actually, you probably can't. But yeah, I love that thing. So yeah, I think a quarter-inch foot is, if you don't have one, consider getting one. I
Yes,
strongly recommend just spending
it's
the
a
money.
game changer. It's a game changer.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, especially if you're doing small things like I do. Molly says, have a great day. I'm going to go shop hop with my quilting buddies. That sounds like a lot of fun. So
Oh, can I go?
I
Take
know,
me
can we
with
get,
you.
I know,
I
I
want
want
to
to go,
go.
I'm going to go do some errands later on, but it won't be any quilt shops, unfortunately.
There
But
are
that's
so few
okay.
quilt shops. I have a quilt shop down the road here, and I can't go in because of my asthma. It's this old gentleman. He's about in his late 70s, maybe. He is
Uh-huh.
the he is the local quilter. He is the one with the long arms, and all his long arming is with pantographs. That's all he does with
Okay.
pantographs. But everybody takes their quilt to him, so he has fabric, but it's a very old building. It's very musty. I bought fabric from him. I've had to wash it because I start wheezing. But he's got it for $4 a yard. Hello,
There you
yes, I
go.
gotta go. But he offered me his long arm. He was selling one. It was what 16. I know it's long as hell. And I said, yeah, but I don't have a place to put it. He goes, well, I'll sell it to you, and you can come do it here. He's so sweet. But I don't think I'll ever long arm. I don't have the patience for it.
It's a
I
whole
have
different
to.
skill set. I've only
Oh
done it a
God,
couple
yeah.
I've only done it a couple of times at quilt shows, and yeah, I'll never say never, but well, first of all, I don't have the money, I don't have the room for it, so it's really a non-issue. But I'm just quite content at this time, just doing it myself in my domestic. And if it's big enough that I can't do it myself, I've got plenty of quality friends that I can pay to do it for me. So,
Oh, no, I
um,
do it. My problem is this, see, Sean, it goes crazy. So if I try, I have a cutie. I put
uh-huh.
it up there. I lost it, so I put it down. But I've learned some things since then. So it's something I have in to play with again pretty soon. Because again,
Oh,
you guys teach me. Every single creator I watch teaches me something different.
oh,
I've
for
been
sure.
watching Tiffany a lot. And Tiffany is,
Yes.
oh my God, that child. Oh, she's so freaking amazing. My daughter loves Tiff. She's not a quilter,
Yeah.
but my daughter loves Tiffany's brain. Did you see Tiffany's dream quilt?
Not yet. I have to go. I don't
Oh,
really, I don't get to watch as many people as I want. Like I'm not retired, unfortunately, as much as I want to be.
I know. I know. But Tiffany did a quilt. She made a quilt out of a dream she had. And she was putting it together. My daughter, I finally got her to sit down with me. And my daughter was just fascinated with the way Tiffany's brain works because that's the way
Yeah.
she thinks. But Tiffany has a brain that is very intense. And the way she she sees things in her head and the way she's able to just whip it out, it's intense. But the way she gets on that long arm and just woo, 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 and does these amazing
Oh,
designs
yeah.
without even thinking, it just drives me crazy. I want to do it, but no,
Yeah.
that is not my wheelhouse.
Yeah. And Tiffany's just such a wonderful person as well. Like I got to meet her at QuiltCon, and it was really nice to be able to meet and greet and say hi to her and that sort of thing
Is
there.
she really
So
that tiny though? Because she looked tiny,
that
very
about what I expected. Now that was, I just wanted to say a quick good morning to Sylvia and Tracy who just popped in. But that was the thing everybody kept telling me at QuiltCon is I was so much taller than they expected. Because I guess I look shorter on camera because I'm about 6'5", or if you're in the metric
Oh,
world, that's about 190 centimeters. So
wow, 6'5". You are tall, dude.
yeah, as I say, everyone expected me to be shorter. So they're like, "Oh, you're so tall." And yeah, so I'm wandering around there in a bright pink t-shirt, and I'm 6'5", so I was pretty easy to find apparently. So
You see the guys with the what was it that he had bubbles? Was it? Was it little? That he had this weird jacket and everybody wanted to go touch with the pom
oh,
poms.
that yes, yeah, I met up with yeah, we met him. I forget his name. Yeah, he had the most amazing jacket, and because I was actually hanging out with Donna and Russ and a bunch of others, Sassy Steph, when he just kind of wandered along. And yeah, we all got photos with him and that sort of thing there. Yeah. I'll have to
You
find, yeah, I'll have to find look if you look around some of the QuiltCon videos like Donna's and Stephanie's and that sort of thing there, you'll probably see pictures of this guy that we're talking about. But yeah, he had the most amazing jacket. It was just all these little puff thingies.
yeah, it's so freakishly cool.
Yeah,
I loved it. I saw everybody. I saw all of you guys. I watched all of your videos, but I was watching I always forget her name, Moko Tour or something like that. I like watching her because she goes to all the quilt shows and she's really cool in that aspect. And I was watching her and she was talking to him. Oh, he's so funny. He was funny as heck. And he had a different thing on every day.
yeah,
That that's awesome. I can't go to
yeah.
quilt show. I would spend too much money. I can't.
I only bought one thing of QuiltCon. I was really, really good, and it wasn't even for me. So
I saw what you bought for your wife.
yep.
I saw.
And then the next week, I was like, because I was driving home, and I was like, okay, that's a beautiful purple skein of yarn, but I was like, now I really want a skein of yarn for myself, so she can make me a pair of socks. So I went to the Mid Atlantic Quilt Festival the next week. I saw the same lady selling the same yarn, so I went over.
It worked out good.
Yeah, I was like, she's like, I remember you. It's like I remember you too. I told her, I said, yeah, last week was for my wife. This week it's for me. I said, I might not see the pair of socks for a while, but at least this way, I have it. Found it really nice, pretty red that I thought would be really nice. So yeah, when she's ready to make me a pair of socks, she doesn't have to go out and find yarn. It's already there. Teresa says that I made her look extra short because she's 5'1". So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But it just that Russ is fairly tall as well. I think he's a little over 6 foot if I remember correctly. Um, yeah, so there we go. All right, but it's 9:25, so um I do have some errands to run after this. It's usually how it works here. I usually go live. I then get, run over and get, ready and take the boys and everybody out and do our daily thing there as well. So let's see who else is live today. I believe my friend Donnell will be
Yes,
live in
please.
about 30 minutes. So you can go get, once we're done here, you can go get your coffee, go get something to eat since I've made everybody hungry. I'm sorry. I apologize in advance. And then you can go hang out with Donnell at 10. At 11 o'clock Eastern, you can go over and head out and visit my friend Russ. I'll show his. Actually, let's start off with Donnell.
Yes, please.
And she's wonderful. I love Donnell. She's fantastic. And then Russ will be at 11 Eastern. And then after that, you can go get a bite to eat for lunch. And then at 1 p.m., you can go over and visit Laura Lynn at Mom and Pop Quilt Shop. And then,
What's Laura Lynn got cooking today?
I don't know, something good. It's
She
always
always
something
does.
good. That's all I can
Yep.
tell you. Um, I usually don't make her lives, unfortunately, because well, I know I won't today because I'll be out and about most of the afternoon. So um, I have a list I
Hey,
have to go get done.
replay is better than no play.
Exactly.
That
Yes.
Donnell taught me that one. Replay is
Yes. I
better than
love. Yes, and I love my replay listeners. I love interacting with everybody in the chat. But if you, good night, Jan. Thank you so much for hanging out. But yeah, if you're watching the replay, I love you just as much. I really do. I honestly mean that, because I am on super early, especially for the folks on the West Coast. So,
Oh yeah.
don't ever feel bad if you're watching a replay. For me, for anybody. Like just we're
We
just
love
glad that you're
you.
enjoying the
We
show.
love you
Yeah.
all.
As long as
Yes.
you're enjoying the content, that's all that matters for us, really, at the end of the day. Good
Okay.
morning, Mara is I'm gonna
Silvia.
butcher.
There you go. Silvia's on. Maritza. Hola,
Yes.
Maritza. She's my buddy. Maritza.
Okay. I
Yeah.
see her, yeah, I see her around too, and I'm bad of my pronunciation of any Spanish word is horrible. I will tell one quick story before we run away. When I was in Nicaragua, we had a medical clinic. We were providing basic medical services to the local community, and someone thought it'd be a really good idea for me to have people fill out the forms. I was like, yeah, great. Can I go ahead and go weed whack in the coffee plantation or something? And so I'm trying to tell them, fill out what was it? What was it like? Complete the form, I think was the words I was taught.
Llena el formulario, completa el formulario. It's a different
Okay,
way.
whatever it was shorter than that. It was like 3 words. And I could, yeah, I'm saying it, but my Australian accent, they're just all looking at me like I'd gone crazy. Um, and they
Someone
told us down, and they told us down there that the illiteracy rate, the number of people that couldn't read was about 80 to 90%, which is terrible.
It is.
And I was like, okay, that cannot be true. And
Mm.
so I wrote down the 3 words, whatever it was, on a piece of paper, and I had to go to about 8 different people before I found an older gentleman who could actually read. And then once he read it, he was able to turn around and tell everybody else, this is what this person wants. I felt so helpless at that point because I couldn't talk to them because they didn't understand my accent and nobody could read. So
Oh man,
it's,
I
it's,
feel for you,
it's
dude. I feel for you because I know what that's like.
yeah, I
But
was like, yeah, this is I'm done. Do not put me in the clinic again. I will go up and if you want me to haul rocks up the mountain, I'll haul rocks up the mountain. Like,
Sean, I went to Puerto Rico. I was born on the island. I was born there, but my parents moved to Connecticut when I was, a newborn. I didn't go
yeah,
back until I was 14. I didn't know Spanish.
yeah,
So I had to learn Spanish on the island. And my mom, God rest her, my mom gave us dictionaries, pocket dictionaries, Spanish, English. And we were made to speak in Spanish during the week at home. We could not speak in English. And we had to look for the words in the dictionary until we pronounced them correctly. And then we were only permitted to speak in English on the weekends.
Oh, okay.
And that's how we learned, to the point where my brother said, nope, this is not for me. He took off to the Navy. As soon as he turned 16, he went to the Navy. My two sisters, who were younger, got to the point where they forgot their English.
Mm.
I was the only one that had both. But my Spanish accent, I speak Spanish, but I still have. You can hear the American accent behind it. You
Right.
really can.
Oh, for
But
sure.
I
Yeah.
learned it though.
That's
But that
awesome.
but there's a problem. When you learn, when you're bilingual, there are words that I learned in Spanish. Like my ex-husband was a mechanic. So all words that have to do with cars and motors and transmissions and tools, I know them in Spanish. So when I have to say them in English, I have to translate them in my head to be able to say them.
Yes.
Because you're thinking in two languages constantly. I think in two languages all the time. Hey, I got one, two, three, four. I got four made. Five? No, five.
Oh,
I made
excellent.
five. Donnell, I made five. Woohoo.
Hey,
Donnell got
it's
five
always
made.
nice. It's always nice when we actually get stuff done, because sometimes I sit here and go, did I actually get anything done, or did I sit here and talk for an hour and a half? Yeah, either way it works.
I never do
Almost,
this on my channel. I do not sew on my channel. I
no.
told
Or maybe you should start.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I only did a little short because the girls were asking about the Daisy and Grace templates, and I had one, and they were asking me about it. So I showed how to cut and how to put it together to make something, and that's the only thing I've ever done. Because again, I don't have the skills of of you guys. I don't have your skills. I don't have Donnell, Jeans, Becca, the way Tiffany works. I don't have that type of skill. My skill is my mouth. That's it. So that's where I go and talk and you know
Well, it's all
try to make
practice.
people feel good about themselves. That's what I try to do. Try to make people feel better about themselves.
And you do a wonderful job at that. But
Thank you.
my first live was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. I deleted it. I'm not kidding. I've told that story before. Yeah, it's just practice, like, and the nice thing is the community is so forgiving. Like, they're
Yes,
so
they are.
understanding, that sort of thing there. So
Well, today
there
I
we go.
got criticism. I got constructive criticism, which I appreciate. I've
Oh, for
only
sure.
had I've only had one that disappeared, but I had one lady tell me on my lives. She said, "Read the comment, so we'll know what you're talking about when you're responding." And I'm just watching you now. You do that, and I saw
Yes.
Becca. She does that too. All of you do. I wasn't doing that, so now moving forward on my lives, I will do that.
Yeah, and the reason that that's important is that once we hit the live, like once we go offline, YouTube has to process the video, and like for my 90-minute live, it takes about 12 hours or whatever. I don't know why it takes them so long, but whatever. Like I'm not a developer. And so during that time, the live chat replay is not available.
Right.
So that's why, a lot of people hop on, they wake up and they watch us while they're having breakfast or whatever else like that. So for that 12-hour period, we have a choice of either taking it offline and not letting anybody watch it, or if we just say, okay, well, so and so said this, and that's why we do it. Kathy
Well,
says that she said hello earlier, but didn't come through. It did. I thought I said good morning, but I'm telling you, I miss people all the time. Like, there's so many things going on, and being a gentleman, I'm only supposed to be able to do one thing at once. So the fact that I can actually talk, so read the comment or read some comment, I read them all, but actually reply to everybody. Yeah, I'm doing exceptionally well.
you
Okay, but
are.
before we run away, do you have anything coming up on your channel that you'd like to promote? Do you have any events,
Um,
any little videos,
right
or
now, yeah, the funny thing is right now I do have something in the works. I have been telling my viewers, but then somebody already did it, and I'm going, okay, am I going to do it or not? Yes, I am going to do it. It's something coming. I
yes?
don't want to say exactly what it is. I will be giving the details this week on my Tuesday show. It's a new project. I'm not making a new channel. It's on my channel. It's just something that's going to be done once or twice a month. It's something very different from what we do, because again, I don't do tutorials. I am not but I do talk, and I love talking with people. And It's something in that vein. So it's coming. It's going to be starting pretty soon. Um, but yeah, I have my episodes on Tuesday at 11 o'clock, try to have them up by 11 o'clock every Tuesday morning. And my lives on Friday, on Thursdays, and my Sunday fun day, which will be up tomorrow. And that's about it. Yeah, I'm not on
That's
anybody. I
awesome.
don't do anything else.
And that's fine. That works nicely. So yeah, if you haven't checked out Debbie's channel, please do so. I've put the link in the chat, and then if you're watching the replay, you can go over to the description as well. Check out the videos. If you like what you see, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff there as well. I think you'll have, if you enjoyed her today, you will enjoy what you see over her channel because how she is here is how she is everywhere. So
Exactly.
yeah, yeah, she
This
hasn't
was
put on
because
it.
of a viewer. Okay, she said I was cute. So that's cute.
Yes,
Sorry.
I enjoy that myself. For me, I will be back tomorrow morning as usual, 9 a.m. Eastern for my podcast. Maybe you'll see this thing actually come together, like a
Yes,
little
yes.
piece. Well,
Pattern
it's
as
come
soon as
together pretty quick, so there's a good chance we'll get something done. I've got some other stuff, some other progress I want to show you as well. And
yeah.
anyone that's asking, I'm surprised no one asked, but the Battle of the Fabrics was supposed to go out last night. That'll go out now Monday or Tuesday. It was a very, very busy week at work. So, yeah, there we go. But thank you all. I better run, otherwise I'll be in a lot of trouble. Shelley says that she loves your channel, Debbie, which is awesome. I do
Thank
too. I don't get
you.
over there as often as I would like to, but I do get there when I
Thank
can.
you, Shelly.
Um, yeah, so
Appreciate it.
definitely check out Debbie's channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching the replay, say hi in the comments and let us know where you're watching from. I always like to know who's watching and from where. And we will see you all next time on the next video or next live stream. Happy sewing and have a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye. All right.
Is it over?